We're trying something a little new this morning on Daybreak, and we're kicking it off with Pharmacist Doug. It's Table Talk, and this is my coffee table. This is where I, take in however many cups of coffee, way too much a day, and I wanted to bring you in because you're so knowledgeable about nutrition, and you always help me with my issues when it comes to health. So I wanted to kind of talk coffee this morning.
Sure.
And it's not really bad for you, but there is a lot of research out there, both good and bad.
Yeah, and the most recent thing is spectacularly good research, because they say it's a wives' tale that coffee is dehydrating.
Right.
And so now they're finding it's not dehydrating. And so one of the authors of the research even went so far as to say is it's as hydrating as water. Mm-hmm. So I don't want anybody to hear that. I don't want anybody to substitute their coffee for water, because we will wind up watering our crops with coffee or something.
And we'll be jittery messes all the time. Okay.
So there's so much good research, but there still are some negatives, like you talked about a little bit earlier. It is a drug, and it's addictive.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to end up on the bathroom stall, on the floor looking for coffee. It's, you're not going to be, like that, but your body becomes tolerant to its effects, just like you were mentioning. You've had 7 cups, and it really doesn't do that much for you because you become tolerant to it. That's the same way with the dehydrating effects. At the beginning, it is dehydrating. It affects your electrolytes. So, and then the other thing is, like, if I were to ask you how you have your coffee, tell me, how do you have your coffee?
I do a black with a Splenda in it.
A Splenda. So
yeah, so something similar to one of these sugar substitutes, which can't be good for you.
Yeah, I'm going to beg you never to do that ever again.
Okay. Oh.
So.
Well, there it is. I'm going to drink way less coffee.
Yeah, this is the problem. You go to that place and you say, give me a grande, super latte, fat, skinny double, and the sugar's the issue.
Right.
Caffeine is not really the issue. Sugar's the issue. And so there's this huge growing problem with insulin resistance and high blood sugars and diabetes. So that's the issue. And so, like you say,
even with a sugar substitute, that's still a factor.
The only sugar substitute that I like these days is stevia leaf.
Okay.
And then a little bit of honey. And then I did some research. There are some cultures that will put a dash of salt, and the dash of salt cuts the bitter a bit.
Really? What's a dash? Like a...
Yeah.
Okay.
A dash.
Of sea salt?
I would do sea salt because I'm in love with sea salt because of the wide variety of electrolytes.
Okay. That's weird, but I'll take your word for it.
I mean, it's not weird. What did I find out? Northern Scandinavian, parts of the Czech Republic, Turkey, Hungary.
Well, I told you, I'm on this paleo kick, and there's a coffee recipe out there where you put butter in it.
And I can imagine, I don't know the recipe, and I would want to look at the amount, but it wouldn't be too awful.
A little
bit. Did you try it yet?
No, I'm not that brave.
Try a little, and do really good butter. Don't do margarine.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Don't do that.
Like the real stuff.
Do real butter, and do just a little. Because, part of the really other benefits, as you're an athlete, is coffee has this big long word, ergogenic aid. And so it's going to bump up your workout. And the reason is because coffee is going to release fat stores to use as energy instead of glycogen. And so and I'll go back to this, but so your body will become fatigued, not as quick, because it's not using the glycogen, it's using these fat stores. So that's a good thing.
Okay.
But here again, because it's a drug and your body becomes tolerant to it, if you drink coffee all the time and on race day you think you're going to get this benefit, that's not going to happen.
And you're a big advocate of listening to your body.
Yeah.
And if you need to rest, let it rest. Don't hype yourself up on coffee. So, okay, stevia, you approve. Or a little bit of honey, organic honey.
Black, try to go black with the
Okay.
coffee, and a pinch of salt to cut the bitter.
All right. You're wonderful. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
You can follow him on Facebook, My Pharmacist Doug, or you can send you an email, too.
Yeah,
if
My
you have
Pharmacist Doug at Gmail. On Facebook, I'm just Pharmacist Doug.
Just Pharmacist minus the My. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We appreciate it. Stick around. We got a lot more coming up.